Okay, I'm back with the other part of 9/11 and the day my baby passed away. Well, anyway, before the night before or whatever, I felt some type of way. Like I say, I was feeling sick before, and I know I had been stressing or whatever, and so whatever, it was like a feeling of knowing, and I kept feeling like me or this baby is gonna pass away. I know that me or this baby is gonna pass away, and I just felt like that. I don't know if it was just me, because usually, like I say, so to speak, like God, He showed me things or whatever, and so I had went to uh the emergency room, and they sent me home. I went back the next day on the same day of the bomb in 9/11, and my baby died or whatever, The night before that, they checked me or whatever, whatever. But I was crying not to leave the hospital or whatever, because, like, God kept telling me He was the same person that told me to go to the hospital. That's what I'm saying. We have all these man made things going on in the world today or whatever, but also we have a higher power that give us intuition, that give us answers, that tell us things or whatever, and sometimes we ignore it. But I used to be real big on just, you know like, trying to listen to the things that he would tell me. Sometimes I was disobedient and things happened to me, and God had already warned me, about people, places, and things, and I would ignore him. And the more things started happening to me from doing that, it would make me always, listen to him. But back then, when I was, you know, um, in my 20s, I would listen to him. Like, I was just like, I would try to listen to what he would tell me or whatever, and, you know, go forward, and, but listen to what God was prompting me to do. So I went into the hospital. I told my doctor or whatever, and she didn't listen. And the next day, she was just there, up there at the hospital after my baby died. Like, she was just there. Like, it was like she was so bothered by what had happened. She was there, and she just kept saying she was sorry, and was it anything I could do, and all of that. And, people were telling me afterwards or whatever, like, no, you could have sued her, because you never you didn't miss a doctor's appointment. If it was something wrong, they should have told you. They never said anything was wrong with me or my baby, but all I know is I was just stressing, and I just kept feeling like it was a knowing or whatever, like that something was going to happen or whatever, So all I have to say about that is, yeah, and I haven't really spoke about this, and since then, it was like that happened to me, and it took a big chunk out of my heart, like, and I had already been broken from a lot of things before that, because, I had already went through a lot of challenges and obstacles growing up or whatever, as a child or whatever. So I was like, like, having my heart broken was like the norm, or having things happen was like, it was just like the norm, like, oh, oh well, it's something else again or whatever, I have to swallow that and move on with my life. And that's the way I felt, for like so many years. Like, that's why, when people or situations happen or whatever, um, it's almost like you just after so much happened to you, and I believe that this is for other people, and that's what keep them stuck or whatever. Like, they just start accepting it. Like, I'm used to this now, so there's no need in me to try to do anything any better or be better but through all of it, God, he showed me later on, the older I got, that he was still always there. If you don't have anyone that you feel like is there for you, because it's so many hurt, lost people, you have God. And for the most part, you don't have to. It took me a while to learn this. You don't have to bring vengeance or anything upon people for the things that they do. You don't have to, because God, he will fix it. He is there with you. I promise you. You don't have to. When people wrong you or do anything to you, you don't have to hold it in your heart or whatever. You just keep telling them, thank you, I love you, and, move on with your life or whatever. But, when I know better, I'm going to tell you what you did. When I know better, because God showed me. That's the thing. We all have these different gifts, just like God showed me. He spoke to me. He told me to go into the hospital the night before. He told me to go into the hospital the night before, and I obeyed him. But the nurse and the doctor, no, my doctor, she wouldn't listen to me. You got people that will get up so high and mighty or whatever, and they feel like they're doing so much better than you, and that they could just treat you like any kind of way and then be like, oh, that was growth and you didn't want instruction, or you didn't want to abide by the rules, or you didn't, no, it doesn't work like that. It's not, no, you didn't want to. Sometimes these people have things in their heart that they need God to get for them. I don't care what status quota you have or what position you're in. It's unfair to treat people unequal. I don't care about any of that. I've seen it too many times. And like God, he showed me people inside out. I can detect jealousy, hate, and all these things or whatever, not to get off on the other sidetrack of, when my baby passed away, but he tell me things. So if God is constantly telling me this about this one person or this situation, trust me, it's the truth. And no matter if I ignore it or whatever, like I could have ignored God and not went into the hospital. That's how I know that what he, for years, God been doing this same thing to me. He give us all gifts. And, when I would ignore him, again, I'm going to state, things would happen. And what he was prompting and telling me, it would be true. So if God was showing me way back then, even before the bombing, when God was showing me who people were and what they were doing, you don't think he's not showing me now? He showed me. And yes, I've been in some cloudy, dark situations and cloudy and dark places that led me astray from God. And, I would go in disobedience and do things that I wasn't supposed to. And I know that God would have already told me not to do this certain thing, or or he would prompt me or nudge me and tell me, about this person, about no. What God is showing me that's in your heart, it's true. You can't make me believe anything else. I know who you are. I don't care about anyone's status quota or whatever. It could be a doctor, a lawyer, an artist, It could be anyone of that nature, someone that sits in a high rank position. And you know, someone that's off the streets, a homeless, poor, whatever, a person that's not even up there. Their heart could be closer to God than yours or whatever, no matter what you got going on, because you're blinded by all this stuff that you think you're doing. So you think that you could treat people however you want to. No, it doesn't work like that. And God, He fights your battles. So don't ever feel alone. If you keep getting doors shut on you, maybe God didn't mean for that door to open. Maybe God already know those people and know where they're headed. So that's all I have to say, guys. God bless, and y'all have a great day.